All right, so here I am. I'm in the barn, in case you can't tell. This is green board, okay? It says on the tag, moisture tough, okay? But anytime you see green drywall, it's 1/2 inch thick drywall. It's a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet. And anytime you see green, it's like a moisture proof, okay? Supposedly this stuff's supposed to keep mold from growing on it, all right? So it is drywall, it's just called green board or wall board or whatever, but green. Green is for bathrooms. Anywhere where it could possibly get moisture, like a bathroom or down in the basement, anything like that, green board. So I'm gonna show you how to cut real quick. That's what this little video is about. I need a piece 90.5 inches long by 40 3/4 wide, all right, rip. So this is 4 feet, so I'm gonna have to take a little bit off that bad boy, all right, so my measurement, 90.5. So I hook down here, 90.5 inches, okay? So if I want, I could mark the bottom, but I'm not gonna, you know why? Because I don't have to, because I have something over here that you might wanna get if you're gonna do a little more than one little piece of drywall patch, called a T-square, okay? Got a nice square corner, right? Nice right angle. This thing rests right on the top of your drywall, okay? Slide it over to my 90 1/4 mark, and since it's square, I just keep my foot against it on the ground so that when I draw my line or cut it with my knife, this thing doesn't move when I get a crooked line, because this is supposed to be like a perfect straight edge, okay? So you can mark it if you want with a pencil. Or it could be like the professionals, use a utility knife and don't use a pencil. Put that thing right on your mark. Now that I drew a line, I can double check. And it's right on my line. So what I'll do, score it with this, okay? I'm not trying to cut through the whole thing, I'm just scoring it, okay? Just breaking the paper. Okay? And you don't have to go deep at all, all right? With drywall, or blue board, or green board, or any kind of wall board, drywall, score, cut through the paper just a little bit, and then you bend it and snap. I'll show you right now. I'm gonna pull my board out. I'm gonna sneak behind it, okay? Kind of hard to see, but I have my line right here. So what I do, hold this thing. I'm gonna use my knee, okay? I grab the end of the board right here, see my fingers? And just give a little pull, and it snaps it right on that line that I scored. From there, now the paper on the back side, I take my knife, and I just, same thing, I just score it, just like cutting through a piece of paper, okay? And keep that thing bent, this piece right here, keep it bent, at least 90. Cut that thing right off. Voila, that's it. That's all you gotta do to cut drywall, okay? Cut it, I should say mark it, score it, snap it, okay? If I do snap it on the end and I got some bumpy things down here, a little bit of drywall cracked, they make something, looks like this, might look a little different. This is a rasp, okay? And all I do, a little right on the end. Basically, it's like a file, like a cheese grater, okay? That takes any of these bumpy pieces off, gets rid of them. Sometimes that drywall doesn't cut perfectly and it breaks, okay? The line cut's good, but behind the line, a little raggedy. I just chugga with that, and it looks beautiful. All right, so we're in my bathroom, okay? So what I did, I just carried the sheets inside that I just cut. Before I hung it, I measured down on the end of the wall, I measured down 4 feet, and I snapped the chalk line. That gives me a nice straight line to go by, okay? The other thing I could have did, I could have measured off the floor, 48.5 and 48.5, giving myself that extra 1/2 inch, and put my drywall up to that line, leaving a 1/2 inch gap on the floor, okay? So that if the floor does happen to get wet, moisture can't get soaked into it, because we are in a bathroom. That's why we're using green board. So if you ever spilled, the shower overflowed, I don't know, your kids are in here having a water fight, whatever. That water, you never want your drywall sitting on the floor. That's it pretty much in anywhere in your house, especially bathrooms, basements, kitchens, and stuff like that. Keep the drywall off the floor, 1/2 inch. I'm gonna take a couple nails. I'm gonna tack them in. Not hard, just tack them in a little. Just below that red line, okay? My red chalk line. You can't see this, but trust me, I'm doing it. Now, I can take my drywall, pick it up by myself, sit it on those nails temporarily. adjust it, get it to where I want it, right on my red line, and tight to my other sheet. Get a couple screws in, I can pull those nails after, no big deal, okay? Look at those nails. This bad boy right here is called the Keyhole Saw, okay? I used to have a couple old ones with the wooden handle. I can't find them, so I went out and bought this thing. This thing was like just under 10 bucks, okay? It was made by Wallboard, okay? It's got a plastic sleeve on here, and I figured out why. I almost cut my arm off with this thing, okay? This thing is super sharp. Be careful if you buy one of these. The old school ones, these teeth aren't that sharp and they don't have to be. I kind of wasn't happy about it. I tried to find one, couldn't find it. I had to buy this thing. Anyway, this thing is super sharp. I think you could probably murder somebody. I would never murder anybody. Must have had to. But anyway, I would choose this if I was gonna. I have an outlet in the wall, okay? I'm gonna measure over from the wall. I'm just kidding, I don't really have one, but just for teaching purposes. Edge of my wall to the beginning of my outlet, okay? I came over 9 inches. All right, the outlet I need at least 2.5 wide. I'm just gonna say 2.5. All right, so I go 2.5. I make a mark, and I do that 2 times. Okay, or 1 time, and I use this bad boy. Okay, it's gonna get painted, so I'm not worried about it. I just make a mark and another mark. Okay, I'm gonna come up and say it was 39 to the bottom of that outlet, and I came up to a 43. Okay. Once again, if this cut was square, I could put this thing on here. Okay. Slide up to my other mark. I make that mark. All right. So now I have a square for my outlet. Now you take this murder weapon. What I do, put this thing right in the corner, punch it through, and now you're sawing away, baby. Alright. Sawing away on Valentine's Day. That's it, brother. It don't have to be perfect, it just has to line up and it can't be too big or else you're gonna patch more around there. So measure the box, the electrical box, mark that thing, cut it with the keyhole saw. Okay, and then after, the plate will cover it. Okay, the actual outlet plate or switch plate or whatever will cover that hole, as long as you don't make it too big. Thanks for watching Johnny Works. A couple drywall tips on green board. Watch out for this dangerous tool. Like I said, holy shih tzu, I think I just cut my finger open. This thing's deadly.